Good morning. Cheers. Happy Sunday. And happy coffee and vinyl number 134. And today we have guest Jack. Hello, Jack.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you. Good morning, TC. Cheers. All right. Wow. I kind of feel like my computer is not really fast today, so I'm going to try to mod on my phone and get it going there. Jack, what is shaking with you? How's the temperature?
It's pretty good. It's been nice over here. It's fall time, which is my favorite season, where it's not too warm and it's not too cold. So yeah, it's in like the 60s over here or the 50s. So
Wow. Cheers. It's like the colds here. Good morning,
yeah.
Harry. This is for you.
Good morning.
And this is for you. Good morning, Arthur. My coffee is hot. Arthur, I trust you're doing well. Good morning, Myra. Elaine, cheers. Whoa. Early morning getting up. Jack, you got some records to show us, man?
I do. Yeah, right. Early morning. So I decided to pick some records that I really like, that I feel like don't get enough credit, in my opinion. So one of the ones I went with is Rick Derringer's All American Boy. And this has a very famous song, which I'm sure you're familiar with, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, but it has a ton of great songs on it, like Teenage Hold, Time Warp, It's Raining. So there's so many great tracks on here, and I feel like everybody just talks about Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, which is a phenomenal song and maybe my favorite album, my favorite song on this album. But I feel like it deserves more credit than just that song.
There you go. Good morning, Sally. Sally's on the Facebook side of things, and Sally has a question for you. Good morning, Sally.
I am in Maryland. I guess if that's what she's asking. What state am I in?
Yes.
Yes, so I am in Maryland.
Or not to be confused with confusion, state of confusion. Sorry. Rock and Roll Hoochie Goo, absolutely. T says, I remember that album. I was your age when it came out, Jack. So there you go.
It's a really good one. And then I don't know if I picked it out or not. I don't think I did, but Rick Derringer actually produced another great album called They Only Come Out at Night by the Edgar Winter.
Yeah, that's a good record too.
Yeah, it has like Frankenstein, Free Ride, bunch of great ones.
Cool. Good morning, Ron. Cheers. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. I was yard selling in Maryland yesterday. Oh, you were?
That's awesome.
You and Harry have to go yard selling together while he's looking for things. You can look for records. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks.
State of Shock was also the Jacksons, which was really cool. I like that. Yeah, that was a good record. Is that the one that had, Ron, is that the one that had Mick Jagger singing? Good morning, Russ L. Cheers. All right, Jack, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling, my man.
Okay, so I also picked, this is a very famous album. Are you a color vinyl guy or not? Do you like black?
I like black.
Do you like
black?
Black?
I like black. Black's the color.
This is on red vinyl, which I thought was really cool.
And yeah.
It's a really famous album, Rebel Yell, obviously. This is my favorite Billy Idol album, and I'm a huge fan of Billy Idol. Self-Titled comes into a close second with me, but I really do love Rebel Yell, and it comes on this awesome red vinyl, which
looks cool.
Really nice.
Yeah. With a Rebel Yell.
The Rebel Yell. Yeah, that's a great
white wedding. There you go. Ron was saying, yes, that is the one that has Mick Jagger singing. Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
So should I keep it rolling?
Of course.
All right. So this, if you go over to my channel, I did a whole video on this. Basically, my most wanted album was Skid Row's self-titled album, and it's not I wouldn't say it's expensive when you find it, but it's very, very, very hard to find because the record was pressed in 1989 and very limited, obviously, because vinyl wasn't big at that time. But then they did a 30th anniversary that was very limited as well, and you just can't find them. So I made it my mission to call because I didn't want to order it online. I wanted to buy it from a record store. So I made it my mission to call every single record store in America until I found this record. So
I remember the day you called. It was like in July, right?
Oh, I called you?
Of course.
I didn't even know I called you. Yeah, so I called every single store until I found it. And my 73rd store, I found this album and I got it shipped over here. And it's Skid Row self-titled. So this is my holy grail, I guess. This is my number one collection.
Oh, cool.
Yes, this is the 30th anniversary that I was talking about, which is maybe harder to find than the original. Yeah. And it's on that red vinyl again, which is
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, very excited to find this.
That's cool. And there's a question for you there.
How many different instruments I see so many in your room? Yeah, I actually have a drum kit over there. That's my main instrument, I guess. I play bass and drums mainly. I mess around in guitar and keyboard, but I mostly stick to bass and drums.
That's cool. Hey, Jack, I'd like to show you something.
Yeah.
This was taken at my Wake Forest store.
It's not making out on the screen there.
Let's see if I can do a little better. Where's my camera? There you go.
Are you holding? Whiplash Smile and the self-titled.
Yeah. But yeah. Look who's holding it. Look who's holding it.
Is that Billy Idol?
Can you believe it?
I wasn't even paying attention to that. That's amazing.
And little bitty Wake Forest. Yeah. Well, let's get caught up. Thank you. Let's get caught up on these comments. Sally said, beautiful when you were holding your Skid Row record. No, your Billy Idol record.
Yeah.
And people saying hi. Okay. Good morning. Skid Row is a killer album.
Yeah. I mean, I'll even go back to it. It's definitely my top 5 of all time. I love this record. I mean, Youth Gone Wild, I Remember You, 18 in Life, Big Guns. I mean, every single song was a hit. It was a hit on MTV, which is really cool. My mom remembers watching it, and back-to-back Skid Row music videos would just play. And, yeah, there are a ton of awesome songs on this album. And I'm very excited. I'm sure you know about this.
Your mom is right. We could not escape Skid Row. We're like, go away.
I'm sure you know about this. Slave to the Grind's coming out on Record Store Day.
Record Store Day drops 2020 October.
I'm very, very excited. That's like my number one this Record Store Day. So
absolutely. So Myra has a question for thee.
Not at all. Yeah. My mom's really good at dance. She danced basically all her life. She tap dance, she did ballet, she did all kinds of stuff. I hope you got a good deal on the Skid Row. I did. I bought it for $35, which is a killer deal. Yeah, so my mom's a big dancer, and my dad is a huge sports fan. So he played football for a long time, and he played college baseball and all that stuff. So none of my parents are
not dancing. They do this a lot. My
mom remembers it back-to-back Skid Row videos. Ouch. Well, I feel ancient now. Yeah, yeah, she talks about just back. I remembered you. Youth Gone Wild. 18 in Life. Monkey Business. Yeah, just back to back.
Wow, how about that? So, did your mother teach you to dance? Have you learned some
I have not.
moves?
I should learn. I should learn how to tap dance.
Can,
I think that would be fun.
can your mother do moonwalk?
I don't know if she can, but my friend can, and it's really cool when he does it. Yeah, he
Oh,
can do
that's
it
cool.
well.
All right, let's see some records.
Okay, so this is definitely one of my favorite records of all time. James Gang Rides Again, obviously. Funk 49, which was like one of the biggest things ever. Joe Walsh is in this band, which is one of my favorite guitar players of all time. And Jim Fox on the drums, I think his name is. And he's a huge influence for me as a drummer. Funk 49, Woman, The Bomber, Closet Queen. Yeah, all these songs. Yeah, right, Russ? All these songs are just so great. So I'm a huge fan of this album.
Yeah, very good. Good morning, Mike. Cheers, Mike.
Okay, so I only have a couple more here.
Wait a minute, we got 47 minutes to go. And you only have 2 records.
I only have a couple more to go, but I definitely will pick a few more out if you would want me to. I didn't know we were just going to do back to back. I only picked out like 10 or so or 7 or so, but
Okay.
I didn't know we wanted this quite many records. Okay, so this is my favorite Beatles album, which is a very, very popular question on my channel. What's your favorite Beatles album? So this is the answer.
The Beatles, the self-titled.
I mean, a lot of people give this a lot of hate, I would say. I'm not really too sure why. I mean, obviously, Revolution 9 is not the greatest thing ever. But back in the USSR, Glass Onion, Obla Di, Obla Da. My favorite Beatles song of all time on here is Blackbird.
Sorry.
So Blackbird is my favorite song of all time. And this is my favorite Beatles album of all time.
Jack, what did you think of the drums on the back in the USSR?
I really liked it. They weren't played by Ringo, were they?
They were not.
They were played by Paul, right?
I was like, I'm going to rock it out.
Yeah. I thought they were really good. I could tell it wasn't really Ringo. It didn't sound like his style of drumming. But I didn't know who it was until I think like a couple weeks ago when someone told me in the comments.
So Russell has a question for you.
I don't know what you mean by that. Does your bomber? Do you know what that means?
Does the bomber you have Bolero on it? Bolero?
I don't think. No, I don't think. No.
Yeah. Revolution 9 will be one of your favorites. Yeah. Yeah. Since you're my age. Yeah. Once you're his age. Jack, you're 12, correct? How in the world did you come to vinyl this passionately?
So I've always been into music. And I've always been into CDs. So I collected CDs when I was younger. Not really collected, but I just had CDs around. So I was used to listening to records and albums rather than songs. And I think that's something that a lot of kids my age don't really do. They have a playlist and that's it. So I was used to listening to full records. So when I had CDs, I would listen to them in the car, in my living room, just everywhere. And then I kind of got out of it for a while. I still listened to them, but I didn't really buy them anymore. And I was still playing music at that time. And probably like 8 months ago or something, me and my friend were at a Panera, actually. And we were eating, and there was a record store next door. And I was like, I heard they had some CDs, so I went in. And the CD section was like 100 CDs. Very, very small. And I was like, okay, well, there's records here. And I found some of my favorite CDs. And I pulled the actual like vinyl editions off, and I bought them. I didn't have a record player. I didn't have any of that, but I asked for one for Christmas, and I got one, and it was one of those bad suitcase record players, which I'm sure you're used to hearing. That there was a first turntable, not my decision, Santa Claus' decision, but basically I got this okay turntable. I had a copy of Hard Day's Night, Deep Purple, Machine Head, I think it's called, and then a couple others. And then I bought my first real record player, which was an Audio-Technica LP60. I still have that, but I did upgrade to a DJ turntable. And I just started. My grandfather had a huge collection of vinyl, which I didn't even know, and I inherited all that. My uncle had a huge collection. So once I had that base, I just started building on that, and it's turned into this 500 record collection. So yeah, that's long story
So
short.
certain copies of James Gang Rides Again had the Ravel's Bolero part edited out due to threats of lawsuits. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Good morning, Mike. And then good morning, AZ Mick. A Bolero was removed on later versions.
Okay, so
This is for you, Jack.
what is the name of your YouTube channel? My YouTube channel is Jack's Trax Records. Good morning.
Very cool. All right, keep it rolling, man. Keep it rolling.
All right, so this is definitely not going to be the last. I didn't know we would be doing this intensely, but the last one I picked out for now is my favorite album of all time, which if you do watch my channel, you will know what it is. My favorite band of all time as well, Rush, Moving Pictures.
All right.
Huge fan of this album, and yeah. So great to see someone today have the same passion I did as well.
Wow.
Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it.
Cool. Hey, I'm gonna do some trivia, let people earn some Record Crate bonus points. And while I do that, why don't you grab some more records?
That's a good idea.
All right, here we go, folks. Let's earn some Record Crate bonus points. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We got 16 people in the chat. That's amazing. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to grab one randomly, and this is the one. All right, so 50 Record Crate. I asked that yesterday, and that one. So, okay. So this one is song titles, artist, LaGrange, Skating Away on the Thin Ice of a New Day, A World of Fantasy. All right, let's see if we know those questions. And can remember, we're not using the internet, we're not using Google, we're not using Wikipedia to help us with that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah. Russell says it actually sounds better with Bolero edited out. Yeah. My computer, my internet is a little slow this morning, so comments are appearing slow on the screen. Thank you, Mary Elaine. She put a link there. Okay, let's see what we got here. Arthur comes in with LaGrange is ZZ Top. There we go. And then Skating Away on the Thin Ice of a New Day is Jethro Tull. Yeah. That's correct, Mike, but a little slow. And then, hey, good morning, Glenn. Cheers. Thanks for joining us this morning. A World of Fantasy. A World of Fantasy is the name of the song. Who's the artist that performs it? Good morning, Glenn. There we go. See Jack still pulling. So this is Rock General 2. Who recorded Hound Dog in 1956? That is correct. You earned 50 Record Crate bonus points. True or false? Leslie West was a member of Mountain. Whoa. Whoa. Cheers, Donald. Thanks for joining. Good morning. I'm going to bring Jack back. Get on back, Jack. Come on back, Jack. And let's see. Good morning, Anthony. Uh-oh. It jumped. There we go. Good morning, Anthony. Cheers. Thanks for joining us. Elvis. Elvis who? Elvis Costello? Ron comes in with Elvis. That's correct. That is correct, Myra. Yes. Arizona. Is it Arizona or AZ? A to Z. AZ? AZ Mick said true. That's correct. And Donald says true. Who played at your high school? Wow. He would be 100 years old, I think. But good morning, Sean. Thanks for joining us. Cheers. Yeah. So who said they played at the high school? Arthur. Who played at your high school, Arthur? I'm curious to know. Mountain. Oh, that was awesome. Yes. And it is Arizona. Yeah. Yeah. So let's keep it rolling here, Mr.
Right.
Jack.
So I did hear you talk about ZZ Top, and this is a great album, and I'll take the plastic out because I'm getting glare. But Eliminator, it's not my favorite era of ZZ Top, but it's my favorite album by ZZ Top. My favorite era is the beginning of ZZ Top, that blues rock sound, not too much of the 80s stuff, but I really do love this album, and I'm a huge fan of Tres Hombres, which the song LaGrange is on, and I'm a huge fan of Fandango, which is a great album, which has the song Tush on it, and this is their 80s period, released in, I think, 1983. It's got Give Me All Your Lovin', Sharp Dressed Man, Legs, yeah, so many great songs on this one, so that's my favorite album by ZZ Top, but I wouldn't say my favorite era.
It's got a cool car.
Yeah, it's got that really cool car that appeared in all the music videos, which is really cool.
Yeah. And of course the keychain. I watched that video recently, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did watch that. I forgot what it's called, but I did check it out, and it's really good. I really liked it. They also have an interview with CBS Sunday Morning, which is a really good interview as well. So if you haven't watched that, I would check that out. Yeah. Great
one
wow.
morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah. Keep it rolling, Jack. Keep it rolling, Jack.
All right. Well, this one, Stephen Stills 1. There's a huge debate what's better, Stephen Stills 2 or Stephen Stills 1. It's blatantly obvious to me. Stephen Stills 1. I'm a huge fan of this. Love the One You're With. Is a great song, and there's a little band called King Calloway who does a great cover of it. And I would really check that out if you love the One You're With. It might be hard to find, but you can just look up on YouTube or something and Love the One You're With, King Calloway. It should come up. But yeah, old times, good times is a really good one. Go Back Home is a really good one. But I found this for $2, and you can usually find Stephen Stills albums in a bargain bin. And yeah, Stephen Stills 1 is a really awesome record.
So I have a question about that record, Arthur. Jack, you're right in the fact that it is fairly common, but who's your favorite guitarist on that record?
I don't know if this is the thing about me. Ready? I'm going to tell you something. I'm a huge fan of the records. I'm clueless on who plays on solo artist albums. I'm like, what is that? Hendrix plays on a song on that Stills? Really?
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah, old times, good times. I didn't know that. Wow. Okay. As well as Eric Clapton plays on it too. So, wow. Learn something new every day. Are you interested in a music-related profession when you get older, or is it just going to stay a hobby? No, I'm definitely interested in making it a profession. I guess my dream, I would say, is to be like a radio host, like a radio show host. So that would be really, really cool if I could do that. Or like a DJ and actually use records, which is not really done anymore. Yeah, that would be really cool. I have a little band with my friend. It's more like a duo, and we don't even have a name. It's just for fun. That would be really cool to do that, maybe. Yeah, but radio show host would be really, really cool.
Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's keep it going.
All right, so this is one of my favorite records of all time, and I'm sure you have it in your collection because it's a very popular record. It's Men at Work, Business as Usual, and one of my favorite songs of all time is Down Under, and I love that flute in it. I'm a huge Jethro Tull fan, which you'll see in a second, and I love flute in music. Not necessarily classical, but mixing it in with popular music like this was at the time, or Jethro Tull like rock. Yeah, Down Under, Who Can It Be Now, with that awesome saxophone in it. Yeah, this is a great album by Men at Work.
I like Men at Work. I got several Men at Work records, and as well as some solo Colin stuff. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it's a really good one. Okay, so the next one is my favorite Kiss album, which is also a very popular. Man, this kid is cool. I think guitar now. You'll dominate. I do know a little bit of guitar. I know like open chords and bar chords, but anything out of that I get lost. I know like scales and stuff, but that would be really cool if I actually could play guitar well. Kiss, the debut album. Huge fan of this. Yeah, this is my favorite Kiss album. Besides, I guess Alive, which is a very popular choice. But I think they got it right the first time. So, yeah, Kiss debut. Her jazz flute. Not really. Not really. I don't listen to that much jazz. I only have a couple records. Only a couple jazz records in my collection. I was just listening to one this morning, which I was telling Adam about. It's the Benny Goodman 1934 Carnegie Hall concert. So,
can you put your hands on that record, Jack?
Yeah, I'll grab it over here. So yeah, this is
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so Evan to Love Gun Jack, you'll be glad you did. Yeah, I do have that one in my collection. I love that one as well, but the debut album is just so great. Do you have any Black Sabbath? I do. I really want to get Paranoid. I just ordered a bootleg. It is an official bootleg. So it's not one that just someone recorded. So it's an official bootleg from, not sure of the year, but it was a concert that Black Sabbath played, and that's on the way here. And I have Master of Reality.
So what's your favorite singer for Black Sabbath?
Ozzy. that was the quickest answer yet. Yeah, definitely Ozzy. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
This is
Kiss, what was the, did we get all the questions? Do you have any Black Sabbath, blah, blah, blah? Have you ever heard jazz flute?
I think you already answered that one. So I only have a couple jazz records, but I have not really heard flute and jazz. So.
Do you like Beastie Boys, Jack?
I do like the album License to Ill. I like that record, but Paul's Boutique is pretty good, but I'm not a huge fan of them. No.
Have you heard Root Down?
I've never heard that. No.
There's a flute intro on there, and it comes from a famous jazz record. So, So does that tell you something about the Beastie Boys? Do they love? Yeah, live at last. All right, let's check out your Mr. Goodman.
Yeah, so this is the Carnegie Hall record. This is the 1938. Okay, so I was getting that.
38, yeah.
Yeah, but it kind of comes in this box, and it's got this cool booklet in it, which is pretty cool. And then I don't really have any other records like this. It's basically like a book almost with records in it. So that's kind of cool. But I have like a big band record that I found for I think like 25 cents or something ridiculous. That's in pretty good condition. And I have this and jazz flute. I haven't really heard it because I don't really have that many jazz records. I do want to pick up this Black Friday record store day, the Jazz Sabbath. I'm very interested in that. That's probably like my number one Black Friday.
Ron, I probably had the wrong title, so thank you so much for helping me out there. I appreciate it. I love Beasties. I love Beasties. Let's do this. What other genres do you check out other than rock and heavy metal?
So I know a lot of you are going to bash me for this, but I'm a huge like 80s pop fan. Like, love it. Like Madonna, Wham, huge fan of it. I don't know why. That's my mom's taste in music. But rock and then that like 80s pop sound, I absolutely love.
That's because it's good stuff. And no, Jack, we're not going to bash you for enjoying something. That wouldn't be very nice.
Journey. I'm a huge fan of Journey, which is not really rock. Thank you for leaving the link to the channel.
Yeah. Jack, have you heard early Journey before Steve Perry came along?
I haven't. No, my main period is I have a record called Captured, which is really good with like Wheel in the Sky and like all that kind of stuff. Don't Stop Believing, any way you want it, that kind of stuff. But I really do like.
I'm gonna go right ahead. You really do like.
I really do like. I lost my train of thought. I really do like. Oh, the new singer for Journey, Arnel Pineda. I actually really like him.
I can't remember the name, Jack, and I don't have it with me, but there's a record that was released by Journey before Steve Perry came along. Greg sings on it. It is so good. If anybody knows that name of that album, it's basically an album with a cropped image of the guys in the center. Put it in the chat for us. Yeah. So the Benny Goodman, that's when Gene Krupa was at his prime. Is there any jazz drummers that you've discovered that you enjoy, Jack?
Yeah, I'm a huge Gene Krupa fan, and I actually got to his main kit that he always played, which is you can see it in like a ton of interviews. It's in a museum in Washington, D.C., and I actually got to take a picture with it. So that's really cool. I really like Gene Krupa.
Do you hold your sticks over or under?
Just over. Yeah, I'm not like, I don't get into traditional, but I do really like jazz drumming.
Yeah, that's very similar to the new Tom Petty, deluxe box set
The with Wildfires
the record sleeves. Yeah. Wildflowers. I'm sold out of all the Wildflowers I brought in. Jack, do you like Floyd, as in the Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin?
I know you're a huge Floyd fan. Yeah, I really do like Pink Floyd. I think I don't get into too much other than Dark Side, Wish You Were Here, Animals, and like The Wall. That's like my main thing. I don't get into really early Pink Floyd and don't get to later Pink Floyd than that. But go ahead.
I can't wait to hear The Endless River.
Yeah, I wanted to check that out. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan. I'm just kind of a mild Pink Floyd fan, yeah.
Here's some suggestions for you from Donald. And Donald is very knowledgeable with jazz. I learn a lot from hanging out with Donald. He lives in Wake Forest, so he comes and hangs out, and I learn a lot from talking to Donald about jazz. But here's some platters for you to discover. Pierre Rem Paul and Herbie Mann. Yeah. Nice. And Jack, there's lots of wonderful Herbie Mann records. Do you like Allman Brothers?
I do, yeah.
So Herbie Mann has a record that has Greg Allman playing guitar on it. You would enjoy that quite possibly, or at least checking it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there you go. Glenn's saying that Men at Work has some flute. Yeah, absolutely. Wildflowers is really great. It is a good record. I haven't heard the the reissue. I would love to hear it on vinyl to see how it compares. Sorry. Yes, TC. Yes, TC. Now, Sean says, I met Peter Criss for a few seconds, and his inspiration to take on the drums was Gene Krupa.
Wow, that's really cool.
There's tons of wonderful jazz drummers that are on wonderful records that more people need to know their names. And so when you start thinking, Jack, when you start learning the big jazz records like Mills Davis Kind of Blue and Love Supreme, and then you start learning the drummers, and it just comes on. Thank you so much, AZ Mike, Mick. It is Greg Raleigh. Greg Raleigh is an incredible singer, and I'm reading this comment at the same time. He was a Slingerland man. Journey next and look into the future. Yes. Very good stuff. I love that stuff. But at the same time, I can listen to Departure or Capture and all that other stuff. This is for you, Jack.
I don't. I'll check him out. Let me write down his name because I would love to watch his channel. The only person I'm aware of in the VC of the same age as me is Carson Tucker, which I'm sure a lot of you probably know. So that's really cool. Maybe I can check his channel out. What is that, Jacob Velasquez? Okay, awesome.
I usually just take images.
Oh, I think I do know who that is. I think I do. Uh-huh. Was he on America's Got Talent? He's a drummer, a piano player. That name sounds very familiar. Tell me what they call it. I've heard of them, but I've never listened to any of their music.
Oh, wait till your life changes, Jack. Oh, my stars. Oh, my gosh. All right, folks. What records would you recommend that Jack check out next? You're welcome to put that in the chat. Maybe a good start of jazz for Jack would be all the jazz fusion I listened to. Arthur, there are so many wonderful jazz fusion records. So Jack with Jack Fusion, it's taking some traditional sounds and mixing in rock and roll. Would you say Arthur John McLaughlin would be a wonderful start for Jack? Excuse me. Most likely TC, he's here just using a different name.
That's him. You two would be great. Yeah. I saw him on one of my favorite YouTube channels of all time is Steve Terryberry, and he's a huge guitar player, and he's hilarious, And he actually did something with Jacob. So I'll definitely check Jacob. I'm subscribed to his channel, but I wasn't too familiar with his last name. But once I said it out loud, I was like, I've heard that before.
Good morning, Kurt. Cheers. Thanks for joining us. Kurt has a suggestion for you to listen to this record, Jack. And of course, if you don't own it, you can always listen to it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you can kind of go from there. Cheers.
Oh, that's cool.
Joy Division, what a wonderful band. A guy that left us too early in his life. And I'm sure he had at least 20 more records inside of him. New Orleans, home of the jazz. Inner Mountain Flame. So someone said Mahavishnu Orchestra.
Okay.
That's a good one there. Jean-Luc Ponty or Brand X. Brand X would be really cool, Arthur, because when Phil Collins is in there playing drums, Jack could probably relate to that a little bit.
Yeah.
Steve and Jack were hilarious together. I'm sorry, jumping.
Oh yeah, Steve and Jacob were hilarious together. Yeah, that was such a great video. Yeah, I've watched that over and over again. They're so funny. Yeah, the whole they messed around with copyright, and they just put them back and forth. It was really funny. It was really, really funny.
Yellow Jackets. I really like the Crusaders. I like that a lot. Yeah. Jack, you need to check out Hanson. Start with the album Underneath and then The Walk. Terrific indie pop at its best. Don't let their teen pop rep scare you away. And that is so true. I think I got a Hanson CD in yesterday that I need to reach out to TC, see if he has it. I love Mahavishni. Good morning, Kent. And speaking of 80s wonderful sounds, Boy George Culture Club is so good. And then, of course, Dave Matthews Band. And I think Anthony, Bluegrass Picker, could chime in and say something about Dave Matthews Band. Yeah.
So move on to the next record.
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
You were also doing a trivia question about, I mentioned them, but this is one of my favorite albums of all time. It was the first record I ever bought. Actually, that's a lie. It was my second record I ever bought. My first was the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night. And I love this record. I mean, Aqualung, Cross-Eyed Mary, Locomotive Breath, like all my favorite Jethro Tull songs are on here. I really do love the song Teacher, which is on an album called Benefit. And
what color is your label?
What color is the label?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think it's green, maybe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's the one to get. I have almost everything Hanson. Love my boys. Bluegrass says, I love my Dave Matthews Band. Kent, you will never change me.
I love Dave Matthews Band too. I love the song Ants Marching. My mom and dad have seen them, I think, 16 times live.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my mom and dad's favorite band.
Yeah, absolutely. There's flutes in there. All right, now this is a good question. Glenn asks, what's your favorite 60s singer/group?
Well, I'm a huge Beatles fan, but that's like the obvious answer, so I'm not going to say that. I really do like the Beach Boys. I don't have too many records by them, which is really unfortunate. I only have like 2. But I do love the Beach Boys. I like the Monkees a lot. I'm not too familiar with their discography, but I like them. So yeah, there's a few 60s groups or singers
Very
that I
cool. Well, Jack, get your next record ready, but I'm going to ask some questions so that people can earn some RecordKrate bonus points today.
Okay.
Where are Crocus from? What country is Crocus from? Let's see. What band did Roy Wood form after leaving the Electric Light Orchestra? On what Queen LP do you find A Crazy Little Thing Called Love? What country are the Scorpions from? And what instrument does Angus Young play? So let's get that rolling. You can go ahead and start showing your record. And
Jethro Tull's lead singer said he heard Jimmy Page and decided to pick up the flute. That's great. Yeah, he had a Fender Strat, I think, Ian Anderson, and he was like, there was a flute there. I'm going to trade my Fender Stratocaster, which was the coolest thing ever at that time, and get a flute. So I thought that was really funny. But it basically changed rock music, their sound. I love that. I love that sound.
Pantera is all you need, according to Kent. Let's say hello to Yolanda. Good morning, Yolanda. Cheers. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead, Jack. Show us the next one.
I have his entire discography, and I'm a huge, huge fan. I got to see him live once, and he puts on a great show. It's Billy Joel, and it's The Stranger. Yeah, Moving Out, The Stranger, Only the Good Die Young, Vienna, She's Always a Woman. Everybody Has a Dream.
Everybody has a dream.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that song forever. Yeah.
It's
all right, let's see. We got some answers here. Okay, so Arthur says Faces. Maybe that's a reference to a record you should listen to. And then Arthur says Germany. So what country are the Scorpions from? Germany. Have you discovered Scorpions yet, Jack?
Yeah, I have Worldwide Live. And Rock You Like a Hurricane. I mean, great song.
Where are Crocus from? Switzerland. Congratulations there, Swamp. Yeah. Bass. How low can you go? Yolanda. That is not correct, Yolanda, but it's a really good guess. What instrument does Angus Young play? Guitar. That's correct. What band did Rory Wood form after leaving the Electric Light Orchestra? Wizard. That is correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Oh, this is so cool. Everybody's saying hello, everybody. Okay, gotta make sure I got a little. Okay, great. Okay, here we go. On what Queen LP do you find A Crazy Little Thing Called Love is on the game, which is correct. Yeah. Jack.
Type O negative.
Jack, I really love Typo Negative.
Okay.
I'm not sure suggesting Typo Negative to a 12-year-old is a good idea or not, Anthony. But Bloody Kisses. Oh my gosh. Oh my stars. So I didn't say it. 100, Ant. Yeah. Let's see. I see you have a new tape table, Jack. How is it going?
Really, really great. Actually, this is how addicting record collecting is. Ready? I got a record player. It was working fine for a couple days, and it started slowly getting slower and slower until my platter was going at, I think, 23 RPM when it was supposed to be going 33. And I was like,
that's a perfect speed for Typo Negative.
So I did everything I could to it. I did electronic cleaner. I did all that, and it just wouldn't work. So I had to buy a new one, and I got all my money back. I bought a Gemini turntable, which I love. I love it. It sounds so great. It has a DJ cartridge on it, which sounds really awesome. It's called a Groove Master, the cartridge, which is really good. But then, and if any of you live in Maryland, you're not going to steal this from me. I found someone on Facebook Marketplace selling an Audio-Technica PL 120, ATPL 20. So it's not the newer LP 20, but it's very, very similar with an Ortofon 2M red cartridge on it. So I was like, okay, he can't want much for this. He wants $100 for it. So with that alone, it originally sold, the turntable sold for $250. The Ortofon red's about $80. So that's like $330. He's selling it for $100. So I think I'm going to get that one as well and alternate between the Gemini and the Audio-Technica. That's my plan.
Well, when you go to check it out, make sure you test the speed before you purchase it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I definitely will learn my lesson from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Tinted Windows is also fantastic. Taylor Hanson, Bun, E. Carlos, James Nanda, and the late Adam Schleisinger, Power Pop Gold.
I don't know if that album was ever pressed on vinyl because Bunny Carlos, my second favorite band of all time is Cheap Trick. I'm a huge Cheap Trick fan, which I forgot to pull an album from them because I have a box set. And yeah, Bunny Carlos is an awesome drummer, and I really want to pick that up, but I don't think it was ever pressed on vinyl. And if it is so hard to find.
There you go. Again, Russell, we have a 12-year-old in the house.
I don't know who any of these people are, so I can't relate to this, but I'm sure you're going to take care of it.
Yeah. Well, Russell's a cool cat. Let's see. Kent says Rush, Van Halen, Scorpions, Triumph, and yes, have plenty spins in my head too. Yeah. Kent, do you play vinyl? Is Kent a vinyl player? This kid reminds me of me. Kids knows his stuff. Future resellers, nah, he's going to play those records till he dies. Yeah, just like that Wild Cherry song says. Yes, the cult, we spoke of that earlier. Yeah. I mean, Edie is one of the most wonderful songs ever.
Yeah,
and I agree with you on this, Kurt. G.G. Allen isn't even good for 50-year-olds. Yeah. I mean, I say that because personal tastes. So, but I also think about. I'll stop. So Kent, so I need you up here one day to be a guest for Coffee and Vinyl. Yeah, Jack, have you considered if you're going to college or not?
I'm in 6th grade. Not too sure what my college is gonna look like yet. Yeah, I'm guessing I will go to college. I'm hoping I will. I'm preferably in arts or music college. I also do magic, so I want to tie that into that as well. I do
magic too. All right, I'm gonna count to 3 and Jack's gonna disappear. 1, 2, 3. Da!
Yeah, I do some stuff at like parties and corporate events and all that kind of stuff. So
wow.
Yeah.
Do you ever cut people in half or take their arm and move it? You know,
I do mostly stuff with the mind, so like mentalism, but it's very, very hard over the screen. And then
do you like Penn and Teller? Do you like their magic?
I love their magic. Yeah, my friend actually got to meet them and did a whole thing with them, and they're really, really cool. They're really, really cool people.
Yeah. Tinted Windows CD is out of print.
Oh, wow. Okay, so maybe I should look into getting that at
Showman. Go ahead. Show.
Okay, Berkeley Music is right up your alley. Yeah, one of my favorite music channels again. What makes money disappear? That's the greatest. That's the greatest comment so far. Mono makes money disappear. AC/DC Back in Black. I know you're talking about Angus Young. Back in Black, Hell's Bells, You Shook Me All Night Long, Rock and Roll Ain't No Noise Pollution. Such a great album, and unfortunately, my copy isn't in the best of condition. You can even see there's a ton of scratches on it. So I usually stick to my CD because there's a ton of clicks and pops in this. But yeah, it's in pretty bad shape. But it's great to have a vinyl copy, and I'm really hoping to upgrade it soon.
Would you read Sean's comment, please?
Is that a magic word?
You were just holding it in your hand. Akadaka.
Was I holding the record wrong?
No. Sean is from Australia, and the record you're holding, the band, where are they from?
Oh, got it. All right. That took me a while.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love this comment. I spend my wife's money on vinyl.
That's funny.
Yes, indeed. Love Back in Black. Yeah. Yolanda, I bet you got some 7s from that. Yeah. Good morning, Carson. Cheers.
Carson. Favorite Elton John record is.
Oh, that's a good one to have.
This had a Record Store Day release in August. I didn't pick it up because I really, really love my pressing of it. It sounds really good. I love the label that it's on. I really love that label, and it's in nice shape. And I heard some rumors that it didn't sound the best. I don't know if that's true. The Record Store Day version of it, but
I've sold some of the Record Store Day. What was it? Record Store Day drops 2020 August, I think it was. And some of my customers who bought it says it sounds really well. But I have a copy, but I haven't opened it yet. And kind of go from there. Yeah.
Very happy.
I don't know Terry Collier. I don't know Terry, but I'll have to check him out. Sean is saying that we like to call AC/DC Akadaka for short. Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
I like that. Well, Bluegrass, you've been invited to join me for some of my sales, and there you go.
Ask your usual question. What's his usual question?
It's one that's getting very old. Where do you get most of your records, Jack? What's your local shop?
So, it's not too local. My favorite record store of all time. Love it. Spin Me Round Records.
We got some awesome records.
And they're awesome. So yeah, it's great store. I mean, the prices at the store. Unfortunately, I don't live near your shop. I would love to come visit someday. But I don't live too close to there. Theirs is in Pennsylvania, and it's about 2 hours from me. And I don't go there. I don't go there often. I've only been there twice. And
have you visited the new spot where they're now?
That's the only place I've been. I wasn't in the New Jersey location. And they're moving again into another bigger place in the same mall that they're currently in now, which is very exciting. Could you speak again?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So, hey, could you speak again on the importance of the green label for Aqualung? Well, of course, every record we get, folks, we want it to be as clean as possible. We want it to be flat so that it sounds the best it can. With that said, if you find a green one that is clean and flat, it should sound even better than the later issues because when it was first issued, it was on that green label. I think it's been reissued on the green label, but it's a different weight of vinyl. And so theoretically, the best sounding one would be the green vinyl, unless you get into an audiophile. And I don't even know, I don't own a copy of Aqualung, but I don't know if Analog Productions or MoFi or anyone like that.
I think MoFi did one, yeah.
Okay, great. So, so with that said, traditionally the green label would be the best sound, unless you get an audiophile pressing with maybe different vinyl pellets that was used for that. So, yeah. So, but what I said earlier, I said, you got the green one. That's the one you want to have. And it's because it would sound better than the other Crystallis that I can't remember, but Pat Benatar, a lot of her records are on that, when they change labels. Yeah.
I don't know the question, but
it's okay. It's always, what's your favorite Rush record?
Oh, okay. We made a joke about that because I was on, there was a channel called the In Groove, and they had a very popular live stream going, and there was like 600 people, I think, watching it. Very, very, very popular. They're so darn funny. I would love to work at Spin Me Around. I would too. You know what? I'm changing my dream job now. Radio show host is my second choice. I want to work at Spin Me Around. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome store. Awesome store.
Thank you, Glenn. Have a wonderful day. Yeah. Oh my God, I love the channel.
Yeah.
They're so darn funny.
Yeah, Rihanna also has a really good channel. Stephanie's daughter has a really good channel as well. She appears in the videos a ton, but she has a really good channel, which doesn't really have to do too much with vinyl, although she sometimes does album reviews. But it's called Rihanna and Company, if you're interested. See you, Kurt.
Thanks for stopping by, Kurt. He needs a deep dive into Queen.
My friend is like the biggest Queen fan I know. I do really like Queen. I have the Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack. The Game, like you were talking about, is an awesome album. I really love that song Dragon Attack on there. Really, really, really.
Hey, I'm going to do a trivial question, and if you are a regular listener or viewer, or you happen to tune into Coffee and Vinyl, you will know this answer. And it's tough because it's hard to be watching Coffee and Vinyl for the entire episode or be there every day because we have a life. But what is my favorite Queen song? And I'll give you 150 RecordKrate bonus points if you know the answer. Don't guess. You got to know. Don't guess. But yeah.
Yeah, The Game is a really great track. How long went on? 45 RPM, I think it now. Analog Productions. Yeah. Okay, so
Queen is the best singer in rock history to me.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, a girl after my heart. Don't tell your boyfriend that. Yolanda is correct. I'm in Love with My Car is my favorite song. Yeah. Good guess, Ron. Okay, let's highlight Mr. Jack. I'm in love with my car. Oh.
I feel like I have rediscovered this. And this is the worst album ever to say rediscover because it's the most popular album of all time, which is Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. But I didn't really listen to it that much because it was so overplayed. At least Go Your Own Way was overplayed, in my opinion. But I love the song Never Going Back Again. I love that song. And more recently, I've discovered it because of the alternate Rumors, which was released in September of Record Store Day. And Never Going Back Again is now one of my favorite songs. I love Dreams, which became very popular with that guy basically drinking like cranberry juice on a skateboard. Those kind of videos go viral, Adam. Random things, listening to Fleetwood Mac. And yeah, these albums have definitely made a huge comeback in the regular world, I feel like. And I'm kind of rediscovering them now that the alternate Rumors has come out.
Very cool. Seems like there's been an alternate Rumors for the last 3 years. There's been a lot of alternate Fleetwood Mac over the years with Record Store Day.
Yeah.
ABBA, All Day. Have you discovered ABBA yet?
I would say I discover them. I'm not a huge fan. I think my introduction was Mamma Mia. That was my introduction to ABBA, was that film. But yeah, I know like the basics, but I don't dive in. Is there like very, very like good stuff when you dive into like B-sides and deeper cuts?
Do you like Madonna?
No. I like.
So Jack, for me, I don't care to listen to greatest hits records. I love 7 inches. I think they're fun and they're great. They have different mixes and they're mastered differently, and I think it's interesting to listen to them. But I enjoy 7 inches through Yolanda with her Instagram account, her Instagram channel, whatever. But I've always been an album person, and it's hard for me to listen to radio. It's hard for me to listen to any online streaming that just continually rotates through songs. And so with that said, when I listen to an ABBA record, I like to listen to it start to finish. And Madonna has sampled ABBA. And because of that, I've always liked ABBA. I've always liked Madonna. And then when Madonna samples ABBA, I was like, whoa, that's so cool. But there's some, I always think about the 7 songs that get played on the radio. And when you go beyond those 7 songs of ABBA, I think it's really neat. Yeah, I really do. But with all that said, I would have to look at the records and say, this is the one song that I think is so cool. I had so much trouble finding that Alternate Rumors album. Didn't have a chance to listen to it yet, but I can't wait. That's awesome.
What area because when I first saw Alternate Rumors, I know I think it was like one of the most pressed records today. There was like 16,000 copies, but I do know some of the parts of like Canada and the UK, they couldn't get them in. They're all over America, like so many copies.
Well, here's what happened. So because of the pandemic, Record Store Day was moved from April to June, and then it was split up into 3 different drops, which is exactly what we needed. But we spent a lot of time with Record Store Day planning things and getting it laid out. What do you think would work best for your store? And and we the whole idea is to keep everybody safe, but still have Record Store Day. And so, depending on which store you went to or what your store is, the store may or may not have been open. The store may have been doing online only. The store may have been doing curbside. And I think one of the stores that TC frequents was one of those things where you would do an online order. And so sometimes it was very difficult to get.
Oh.
And then, of course, some people would buy it and put it on eBay and try to get 3 times the amount of money. So, yeah, that's what he was talking about. It was just he had trouble finding it. And I gave him some suggestions, and it actually worked because, as a Record Store Day store, we do a pledge where we honor the retail price and we don't price gouging. So typically the day after Record Store Day, we're able to put items for sale on online platforms, including our website, including eBay, and so, but we honor the retail price, and so takes a while for stores to get their product online sometimes, and then when it goes online, it sells pretty quick because I want to pay $29 or do I want to pay $99, that kind of thing. So so that's kind of what happened, but I'm glad he got one. Yeah. I had a new copper rumors I played. I see a lot of them. They're just worn out. I've seen some that's been run over by automobiles also. And that's right, Anthony. TikTok did the guy pull?
I don't have TikTok, but that's what I've heard. Yeah, he had a skateboard and a bottle of cranberry juice, and then he was listening to Fleetwood Mac, and who knows? These are the things that
go viral. Cool. It was very short, but it was awesome, and it was a wonderful expression of love. Yeah. Ocean spray, absolutely. TC was saying that let's get caught up on these real quick. Oh boy. Here we go. Try the Super Trooper album. It has more rock sounds. Yeah. And ABBA was just so popular. So popular. It's like Skid Row. We heard ABBA everywhere. I love the scene in Bohemian Rhapsody, which is the movie where Roger and Brian go after each other over the songs. I'm in love with my car.
Oh yeah.
Very funny. Yeah. Okay. I love ABBA. I love it. I love it. Hey Jack, it's been great meeting you this morning. Keep rocking, young man. Adam, have a great day. See you next time, Ron. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. There will be a sale tonight, and I forgot the time, but 2 hip chicks who's going to be selling with me. We're going to kind of do the round robin. Like I'll do some, and they'll do some back and forth. So I'm looking forward, and I hope I can find me some cool records from them. Check out my channel. I did a video about it. I finally found it thanks to a viewer. Had to order it from a store in Orlando, and I'm in Boston, and nobody had it. Yeah. So that's really cool. That's the cool thing about the record community on YouTube and the internet, and we all a lot of us seem to help each other out. That's a good choice. There's a great clip from several years back of Australian singer Conrad Sewell doing a cover of Dreams. He's awesome. Are you familiar with him, Sean? Okay. Hey Jack, let's show 3 more records, and then I got a 10 o'clock appointment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
happen. And then maybe Sean will chime in if he's familiar with Conrad Sewell.
That's very convenient. I have 3 left. So the Edgar Winter Group, this is they only come out at night. I talked about it briefly before, but produced by Rick Derringer, which I absolutely love. And Frankenstein. That and YYZ have a very close tie with each other for favorite instrumental track. I think YYZ would have to go number 1, but this is very, very close behind it. So yeah, I love this album. It's really, really good. Rock and Roll Boogie Woogie Blues is really good too.
And I like the keyboards in Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's really cool. The keytar that Edgar Winter plays.
So one time I found this jam box that was an 8-track player. It was realistic, which was Radio Shack, and it was moldy, and it was red, and it was 80s or 70s. It was just really cool, and it worked. And so I was like, I'm going to get me some 8-tracks. And I remember getting that record, and Frankenstein was on 1 track, and it got to the end, and then it went click, click, and it went to the next track, and it actually backed up a little bit, and you heard a little bit of it. Then it came, and I was like, how about that? Frankenstein, I could only hear half of it at a time, so that was really interesting. Yeah. Have you heard an 8-track before, Jack?
I have not. Like we were talking about, I'm not a huge fan of cassettes. And I feel like 8-tracks and cassettes I kind of put in the same kind of thing, but they are different. But I have not
the same machine.
Yeah, not the same.
Not put in the same machine. Okay, good. Yeah.
But La Villa Strangiata. Okay, too long, man. No, I love Rush, but when they get into long, I like listening to it in the background. there's a few parts of La Villa Strangiato I really like, but besides that, I'm not a huge fan of that track. Jack, be glad you didn't live in the track area. Yeah. My dad wasn't a huge cassette person or 8-track person. He was a CD person. So am I. I like vinyl and CDs. Those are my main formats.
The funny thing is when you have a proper working 8-track player and a proper 8-track, the sound is actually good because it's analog and it's on quarter-inch tape.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but with that comes a click clack, and it goes from program to program, and with it come with the problems associated with 8 tracks, the mechanism of the tape spilling around. Yeah. Okay, back at it, Jack.
All right, so I need to get some full-length Doors albums because I'm a huge fan of them. But they are, when you find them, I've seen they are quite pricey. I feel like when you don't see them going for like $10, you see them going for like 20 to 25 used, which is kind of crazy to me. So I'm not going to pay that used, but I may grab a couple reissues. The Doors self-titled would probably be my favorite Doors album, but for now, I know you said you're not a fan of the greatest hits. I'm not either, but there's so many great songs on this record. Hello, I Love You, Light My Fire, People Are Strange. Riders on the Storm is my favorite Doors track of all time. So I really, really do like this greatest hits compilation, and usually I'm not that big of a fan of them. And then, if you want me to go into the next one, I have Blue Oyster Cult Live. I feel like Blue Oyster Cult for me is kind of a live band rather than a studio band, and I much prefer them live than I do in the studio. Although I do love them in the studio, but I really like them live.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Blue Oyster Cult. I think there's a Black Friday record store day.
Yeah, live in Pasadena. Yeah, the first time ever on vinyl. So that should be really cool.
Hey, Mike, I have one question for you. What's your budget?
Yeah. Yep, it is. A couple of them.
Yesterday, I was in Wake Forest with a buyback, and they had some DVDs, and there was a Doors DVD that was still factory sealed, but it's got 3 programs on it plus some features. Donald was with me. We were looking at it. Donald says, it's got 3 things on it.
That's cool.
So I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Awesome. And then the last one I have that I picked out, which we're going right on time, which is really nice, is I think this might be my favorite Beatles solo career, Ringo Starr. I love his drumming, and it's not the glare you're seeing there. I'm sure you are familiar with this album, where it's kind of yeah, it's like blurry on the front, which is kind of cool. So that's not just the camera. Blast from Your Past is a greatest hits compilation, but Don't Come Easy is one of my favorite songs of all time. I love that song. I really like Paul McCartney and Wings, and Red Rose Speedway is a great Beatles, not Beatles, solo Beatles work, Wings work. But yeah, Ringo would have to take it from me for my solo Beatles career.
Well, there you go. That's awesome. Does anyone ever reference your name with a record, with the title of an album? Does anyone ever call you Happy Jack?
They do not. They do not.
Okay.
I actually, this is really cool. I'm going to do a video basically, and I'm sure a lot of you aren't going to be interested in it, but I'm very excited to shoot it. It's going to be how I started my channel, and the reason I picked my name, Jack's Trax Records. My name is Jack, but I got a record from a store in a bargain bin, and it's on a label called Jack's Trax Records, and it's spelled the exact way I spell it. So that was kind of the inspiration for me to name my channel that. So I have to put that on display or something, because right now it's just
that'll be cool. Yeah, this might be the most important question of the entire morning, Jack. Are you ready?
Okay. Any Grateful Dead in my collection? Personally, I do not. I do not have any Grateful Dead in my collection, and I really want to dive into them. That's like one of my number one bands I really want to get into because I've heard a lot of great things about them, and I never really got into them. Most of the music I listened to, my grandfather introduced me to, and he wasn't that big of a Grateful Dead fan, or a Deadhead, as many of you guys call it. But yeah, I do want to dive into Grateful Dead, and if you guys have any suggestions about what songs or albums I should listen to first as an introduction, I would love to hear that.
Well, I would recommend only one thing, Jack. Go to archive.org and listen to an entire show. And some people will give you different years, different periods when the Dead was hot, and in their minds. A lot of people would say Cornell was the best Grateful Dead show ever.
Okay.
I think that was 77, if I'm not mistaken. Myself, I don't care to listen to Grateful Dead studio records.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care to listen to label release live shows. For me, it's all about listening to live shows of the Grateful Dead where fans recorded them shows, and there was a time that cassettes were just traded, Jack, and then got into the the DAT, and then it got into the CDRs, and now almost everything is on archive.org now, and there's always wonderful Grateful Dead being released. I do like some of the dick pics, but Mike is correct. You can listen to them free and you can download them. Some people, Russell says Working Man's Dead is good. Donald says American Beauty is good, and that's really cool. They are wonderful records, but for me, it's all about listening to the Grateful Dead with Donna Jean, and when she's on, she is on. But that's just me, folks, and I respect everybody's way of listening and cool things like that. But that would be my suggestion for you. Thank you, Carson. I appreciate that. We are independent record stores. We're definitely struggling now, and yeah. So everything is very helpful, and so there we go. Yeah, Jack. Any final words?
I do not. Thank you so much for having me on the 134th episode of Coffee and Vinyl. Thanks to everyone commenting.
Well, Jack, I hope we can do this again. I'm sure you have some more records. I see some in the background.
Yep.
Yeah. And is that IKEA or?
Actually, I'm going to do a video. I don't really want to quite get into it. I changed my background, but I changed my room setup. So last night, I was very bored and decided I was going to change the entire record of style of my room. So I changed that, and stay tuned for my channel on how I did that and what it was like before.
So if you were local and you were bored, you could come in here and continue organizing my records, filing records away.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I would love to do that.
Went through the vault, finding that I have 5 copies of a Roxy Music record. I got to figure out which was the one I'm going to keep and sell the other ones. And I have over 100 Duran Duran records that I need to continue doing stuff like that. So there we go. Carson, you'll have to watch the replay. He showed lots of not only moving pictures, but he probably showed 24 other Rush records. So you have to go back and watch the replay. Yes. Oh, he was in bed. I love this. No, Carson. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm 11 subs away from 600, and I'm looking forward for that next step happening for me. So
then again, I would be very appreciative if you could go over to my channel. I know someone put the link in the chat, but I'd be very appreciative if you go check out Jack's Trax Records.
Yeah, check them out and cool things like that. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jack. Jack, stay right there where you are. And I'll see you tonight. I'm going to make the thingy soon. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you. Cheers.